What is up, YouTube? This is Chris, I'm Professional Dad, and I'm back with another knife video. Today, I've got something special. Yesterday, we had a big live giveaway. We gave away 9 knives. 9 knives to 9 different people. And because of that, I've got a few knives that I want to review for these people before I send them out. Now, I wasn't going to open these packages because they weren't my knives, they were theirs, but I reached out to all of them, and the ones that got back to me said absolutely no problem. Not only do we want you to open them, or not only can you open them, but we want you to because we want your opinion on the knives. We'd love to know what you think about them. So I'm going to give my opinion on these knives. I'm not going to do all of them, obviously. 9 would take too long. I'm trying to shorten these videos, not make them longer. So I'm going to do 3 of them really quick so these 3 people know exactly what they got coming to them. These are all really good little knives, and I'm excited for this. But before I do, I want to welcome anybody stopping by my channel for the very first time. Thank you. Welcome. I appreciate your time. Hopefully you like what you see. We talk about knives in EDC almost every single day. Now, if you do like knives in EDC, I've got something for you. On March the 3rd, we are having a $200 knife in EDC budget giveaway. Now, how do you be a part of that? It's real simple. You go onto my channel, and I have one video called Huge Knife Budget Giveaway. You find that video and you leave a comment. Say anything. Say, hey, I'm here for the giveaway. Say, I'd love to win a knife. Say whatever you want. It's your comment, not mine. And if you do that, on March the 3rd, your name will be in the drawing. And we're going to use a random generator to pick one person that wins a $200 budget. I like Blade HQ. I like Knife Center. I like Smoky Mountain Knife Works. But you can use it any place that's an EDC and knife retailer. Not Walmart or Target or any place like that, but an actual knife or EDC retailer. I can't wait to do that. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to go live on the 3rd and do that. And that's all you got to do. Subscribe to my channel, hopefully. But that's up to you. But leave a comment on that video, Huge Knife Budget Giveaway, and you're in the drawing. All right, so, guys, these are pretty cool knives. Now, the very first one that I'm going to do is the incisive, the Kershaw incisive. Zachary, appreciate it, Zachary. Zachary's actually won a knife from me before. Zachary actually won this incisive, and I'm going to do this and then send it out to him. Now, everybody understand this. Now, we are in the middle of this winter storm and everything, so right now it's Saturday the 4th, and tomorrow will be Sunday. The post office will not be open, and Monday or Tuesday it's going to be a lot of snow and rain and ice and stuff like that, so school is probably going to be out. I'm probably not going to be out any day early next week if the weather's as bad as they're saying. Now, if it's not, I'm going to get it out as soon as I can. But if it is as bad, then I'm going to, as soon as the weather passes, I'll get these knives right out to you. Okay, so the very first one that we've got here is this Kershaw incisive. And let me tell you, this is a cool little knife. I really like this knife. I've been messing with this knife a little bit. I really like the look of this knife. More than anything, I like the look of it. It has kind of a almost trying to think of the right word. It just has a real almost machiny, robotic kind of look. I mean, that makes no sense absolutely at all. I know what the heck is machiny or robotic. I don't know, but that's what it looks like to me. I really like the look of it. I actually like the look of this in the closed position more than I do the open position. It is assisted opening. So as you see, it jumps into place. Not only that, watch this. Now this is a liner lock, and I'm not the biggest fan of liner locks, but you can't have everything. And I noticed that about this liner lock, a lot of them, the over travel under the blade, you know, a lot of times they don't have a lot of a travel path across the blade, so they don't have a good connection. So it's real easy to knock them off and the blade close or something like that. It's one of the reasons I don't like liner locks. This one, as you see, really fits under that blade really well. I mean, it goes all the way. There's a lot of over travel under that blade, so it's firmly under that blade. So it's going to be, this makes no daggone sense. Hopefully you know what I'm talking about. When they don't go very far, they're barely touching the blade, so it's easy to knock them off and the blade close. This one goes farther over, so it has a more solid and firm hold on the blade. There's more integrity to that lock. So hopefully that makes sense, because I just confused the heck out of myself. But it is a liner lock. Steel liners, feels really good. G10 handles. All in all, it's a pretty well made knife. Now, it doesn't have a deep carry pocket clip. Deep carry pocket clip, but the pocket clip is reversible. So it is left hand or right hand, tip up only. It feels good in the hand, but here, I wanted to show you this. Watch how much force this thing has, and this is assisted opening. Close it. Look at that. I mean, this thing has some force. Those springs in there are strong. I mean, they are strong. So, and most of your assisted knives are going to do that. Let's just be real. But, I mean, this thing is nice. It jumps into place. It's ready to go. I like that sheep's foot blade. I like the swedge on top. I really like the shape and the design of this. Now, it's got a hollow grind, so it is sharp. I've already been cutting with this to see how good the blade is, and I'll show you here in a second. Also, I like this little dip right here. That's the only place where there's any jimping is in there. And the jimping is not very aggressive. It's kind of that micro jimping that I talk about, but it is jimping. The jimping is not going to hold your thumb in place. That little dip or that groove is what's going to hold your thumb in place. It's not big enough for my thumb. My thumb just sits right on top of it. I literally have to put my thumb in it like that for it to stay in place. But if you have a smaller thumb, it might work really well for you. All in all, this is a cool little knife. It really is. This would be a cool little EDC knife. This would be a good little knife to use. This, I tell you right now, this would like in a machine shop or something. You don't care to like beat up and just use for EDC. You're working around a lot of equipment all day, dirty, stuff like that. This would be a cool little knife for that. Let me show you how sharp this knife is. Now, this isn't paper. I should have got some paper down, but I forgot to a while ago. These are index cards, but this thing is sharp. I mean, this thing is razor blade sharp, and these are index cards. Hollow grind, excellent point right there. Now, this is 8CR. Now, you guys know my opinion on 8CR. Some people don't like it and stuff like that, but I think 8CR is a fantastic blade steel. People have done just fine on 8CR for years. Most of your knives were made out of 8CR before all the powdered steels and stuff came out. Another great thing about 8CR is it's a great steel to learn to sharpen on. It's not super expensive, so you're not going to ruin a Magna Cut or M390 or something. So you can take more risk and gambles on this. You can take your time, and if you do mess it up, so what? It's just ACR. It's a budget steel, but it's a good steel. It's easy to sharpen. Somebody was talking to me the other day in the comments about AUS 8 and AUS 10 about how easy it is. It's so durable, so it makes really good camping and bushcraft knives because it's really, really durable, but it's also super easy to strop back into place if you're out in the bush, or to sharpen real quick and easy. It's a good knife steel to learn to sharpen on. ACR is just like that. It's a really good knife steel to learn to sharpen on if you're new to it. Great steel. So all in all, I really like this. I like this little knife. I'm not the biggest fan of assisted openings. It is what it is. I don't like assisted openings that much, but I like the look of this knife. I like the shape of this knife. If this knife was an assisted opening, I would like it a whole lot more. But I do like this knife. Here's another thing about it. It's got a really good size thumb flipper right there. Now, it's very slick. I mean, it is very slick. There's no jimping to it at all. But because of that is assisted opening, I mean, it jumps right into place. It doesn't take much force at all. If there was a negative, that would be maybe a negative. It takes so little force for that knife to jump out. That would be the only thing that I might say, other than the fact that it's assisted opening, is that it doesn't take much force at all for it to jump out. You barely push that and boom, it jumps right out. Great knife. Great budget knife right here. This is a really nice budget knife. And I will tell you guys right now, Zachary is a machine. This guy is so talented. He made what's it called? Micarta. He made some micarta that was awesome for his AD-15. He made a shipwreck Kershaw yesterday. Oh my gosh, this thing was gorgeous. What he did with his Kershaw. He gave it that copper shipwreck look, and man, he sent me emails and pictures of it. So I can only imagine what he could do with this knife. Zachary, this would be a good knife to do something on, man, and send me some emails and pictures. I would love to see what you could do with this. This would be a good knife for that. All right, so the next knife is this Abraham's knife. Now let me pull this knife up so that I've got the exact. All right, so this is another Kershaw, and this is 8CR. Now, I like this knife a lot. I really, really like this. And Abraham, thank you. Abraham is the winner of this knife. I appreciate it, Abraham. I will get this knife out to you really soon. I really like this knife. You guys know that I like the bigger, heavier, solid knives, and this is exactly that. Look at those liners right there. Look at that back spacer. I mean, those are steel liners. It's heavy, it's solid, it's sturdy. Now there's no jimping on top. I do wish it had some jimping right here, but there's no jimping, but that's okay. It has a very sharp spine. This would be a good one for striking a ferro rod or something like that. It's got dual thumb studs, so it jumps right into place. Another liner lock. It is another liner lock. It has that textured G10. Now here's something that I'm going to point out. It has this textured G10 that is a lot like Spyderco's textured G10. Now look at these knives. Look at how similar they are. Now take the blade away, obviously. Take the blade away, but there's a lot of similarities there. A lot of similarities. This is a really cool little EDC knife. There's no thumb flipper or anything like that, but it is dual thumb studs, and it pops right into place. It has a pocket clip that is reversible, and here's the thing. It's not a 4-position pocket clip. You cannot switch it left hand or right hand, tip up or tip down, but it is a 3-position pocket clip. You can switch it there, you can put it here, you can put it here, but you cannot put it here. So it's a 3-position pocket clip, so you can go left hand or right hand, tip up, but only do right hand tip down. You can't do left hand tip down, and I know most people don't like tip down anyway, so that'll be just fine with people. It's got a good hollow grind on it, a very, very good slicer right here. Look at that blade, look at that swedge. This is a sharp looking blade right here. 8CR, again, another 8CR steel blade, easy to sharpen, easy to maintain. It's a good slicer. This is going to be a good EDC knife right here. This is going to be a really durable, good EDC knife. A good size belly. Look at that belly right there and that point. This drop point blade. I mean, this is a nice, nice knife. A good, heavy, solid feel. Might be too heavy for some people for EDC. Some people like that lighter feel. You know, the Decas, the bug outs, those lightweight feels. If you do, you might not like this knife very much because it is a heavy knife. I mean, it's almost twice the weight of this tension, or this tenacious. I said tension, of this tenacious right here. But I mean, look how much blade length you've got right there. Look how much cutting edge. Look at that belly. Again, textured G10. The pocket clip is not the best. It is not the best pocket clip, as you see, but it's, I mean, it's a Kershaw pocket clip, you know. This is a budget knife. This is a budget knife, but there ain't nothing wrong with budget knives. This is a knife that I would carry quickly. I would carry this and EDC this all day long. If I didn't have a lot of higher end knives and stuff, I would not care one bit to carry this knife. I like the feel of it. I like the look of it. I like the size of the blade. Again, that hollow grind. I mean, this thing is, that hollow grind, man. I know people talk about the flat grind as a slicer because of the edge geometry, but the hollow grind is designed to be a slicer and a cutter, and this is razor blade sharp. Now, I did not say this on this incisive, and I apologize, Zachary. I did not tell you the blade length on the incisive. Its overall length is 7 inches, and the blade length is 3 inches. And the weight, I apologize, this is so unprofessional. The weight of this knife is 3.84 ounces on the incisive, so it's 3.84 ounces, Zachary. Now, this tension. This is 7.62 inches overall with a 3.12 inch blade. So it is over that 3-inch blade length in case you are in an area where you have to have a sub 3-inch blade. You need to keep that in mind with this knife. But HCR, steel liners, textured G10 handles. Let's see, where's the weight? Oh, 5.41 ounces. Again, I told you it's a heavy. This is a heavy knife right here. The action is good. It is on this is on washers. Yeah, it doesn't say that. But you got to work with it a little bit. You got to work with it a little bit. I mean, it's a little stiff, but it's a brand new knife. You're going to have to work that in and stuff. But all in all, look at that knife. I love this knife right here. That's a great knife. A great, great knife right there. So, Abraham and Zachary, thank you guys very much for being a part of this, for being a part of this community, for allowing me to check these knives out for everybody here on video. I appreciate that. And this last knife that I want to do really quick, Riley won the SOG Aegis FL, and so I'm going to review this for Riley. And again, Riley, I will have this right out to you as soon as I can. Now, this Aegis, this SOG Aegis, I'm going to be honest with you. I did not think I was going to like this knife very much. I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I do. But I do like this knife. I actually like this knife a lot. I thought it was going to be way too slick, that steel handle, and it is slick. It is a little slick. But they definitely put the grooves in there to take some of that away. What I really like about this is this blade right here. Look at that blade shape. Look at that blade shape. You want to talk about a slicer? This knife is a slicer's dream. Excellent jimping on the top. This is aggressive jimping. It's not too aggressive. I like it really, really aggressive jimping. This is that really good, just perfect, right across the board. It's not too aggressive for people. It's not too micro for me. It's just really good jimping. Like, you can really feel that jimping. It's got dual thumb studs. It's a frame lock. So it's a good lock. It's a deep carry pocket clip. Now, it's not reversible. This is right hand, tip up only carry. But, I mean, dual thumb studs. Excellent action on this thing. It jumps right into place every time. I love that blade shape right there. That is such a cool looking blade shape. This knife has a slicer's look to it, an EDC, a really good EDC knife. It's got a lot of weight, so it might be too heavy for a lot of people. It's a budget knife. There ain't no doubt about it. It's HCR stainless steel. It is overall length. Oh, actually, the weight on this is 5.1 ounces. It's a stone washed blade. Obviously, you can tell stone washed. The handle and the blade is stone washed. But the overall length is 7.9 inches. And the blade length is 3.4 inches. So this has definitely got an over 3-inch blade. I mean, there is a lot of cutting edge right there. A lot of cutting edge. I really, really like the frame lock. This is another one where there's a lot of over travel under that blade, so it's got a good connection, good firm grip. It ain't going anywhere. Easy to manipulate. Just feels really good. Look at that blade stock, how thin that is. I really didn't think that I was going to like this knife as much as I do. And man, I like this knife a lot. Now, it's a SOG, so it has a tactical application kind of thing to it. It has a kind of a tactical look. It's not black, it's obviously steel, stone washed steel. So it's not that black tactical, but it still has a tactical look to it and a tactical feel as well. Another thing, I really like this about it. Look how thin that whole frame is. This is not a big bulky knife. Like, look at how big and bulky that is. I mean, this is double the size of this. So this is a really, other than the weight. Now the weight obviously is going to take it out of being that really easy, lightweight carrying knife. But because of how thin it is, it'll have a less of a profile. This would be a good knife for a backpack. You carry it in your pants, obviously. It's just a lot heavier than some people would like in their pants. Some people. Don't bother me. Don't bother a lot of people. I'm just saying some people. But like, this would be a good knife for like, outdoor backpack. If you're going camping or something like that, put it up in your backpack. I'll tell you where I would put this knife right here. I'd put this knife in my first aid kit, because you need a knife so many times for different things like that. I'd put this like in, not my first aid kit, that's the wrong way to put it, but I just got like a bag that's overall things that I would need in case of an emergency, and a lot of it is first aid. I'd put this knife right in there just as like just kind of a really good knife to rely on and pull out if I need a good slice or something. It's really sharp to cut something. It's got a good point. I mean, just all in all, I like this. It doesn't take up a lot of room. This is a nice knife, Riley. I think you're going to like it. I think you're going to like it a lot. I don't know how you'll feel about heavy knives and stuff like that, because it is a solid steel knife. But if you want a good slicer that's got good action, now, this is the only one that I did not cut with. So I don't know the cutting action. I did cut with the other two, but I did not cut with this one. I was just too busy playing with it, but I can already tell this is going to be a slicer too. A good slicer. It does have a hang up. I can tell where it's got a little hang up right there in the back side of the blade, like here towards the bottom. I'm going to take care of that though, Riley, don't worry. I'm going to have this sucker strapped. I mean, look how sharp that is. That's a razor blade. But I'm going to this backside right here where it's just a little, I can feel just a tiny little hang up. It was catching a few times. I'm going to take care of that. I'll strap that up really good for you. Have this edge good and tidy. But all in all, I think you're going to like this knife. I really do. I think you're going to like it a lot. Again, it's a budget knife, but this is a good beginner's knife. This is a good, somebody that's not a big knife person, that doesn't know everything about knives, that doesn't know all the different steels. I'm going to tell you right now, when I was ignorant of knives, I didn't know about the blade steels. I didn't know about the different handle materials, the prices of knives, the brands and the models. This would have blown me away. This would knock my hat in the creek. I would have loved this knife because, first of all, it's SOG. And to somebody that doesn't know, it's just like Gerber. SOG is like that cold steel. Oh, that's that tactical, man. That's what soldiers and Navy SEALs use, which is true. I mean, that's true. So I would have absolutely been in love with this knife. Now that I know everything that I know, and I know all that different stuff about knife materials and stuff, it changes it up a little bit. But I'm telling you, to a non-real knife enthusiast, this is one heck of a knife. I like them all three. I think they're all three great knives. I'm really excited to see if, and don't feel like you have to do anything, Zachary. You want to take this and just keep it just like it is, then by all means, this is your knife. You keep it just like it is. But from talking to you, you're just so good at it. I can only imagine what you could do with this knife. But again, don't feel like you got to. But if you want to, definitely share it with me. I'd love to see it. Abraham, I think you got a solid knife right here. This is probably my favorite of the three, just overall the knife. I love this knife because of the texture G10, the feel of it, the way it fits in my hand, the size of the blade, how much blade length and belly you've got right there. And Riley, I mean, look at that blade shape. That is so awesome. That is just awesome. All three of you guys are going to be happy. I really think you will. I can't wait to get them out to you. And I will first thing next week. And thank you for being a part of that giveaway. Thank you for playing along and winning these knives. Thank you for allowing me to review them for the entire community and give some thoughts and opinions on them. Hopefully, you'll develop your own opinions. Don't take my word for any of that, because I'm a nobody and I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just rambling. But when you get them in your own hand, you feel them and you experience them and you test them out and you see how you like them, because that's what ultimately matters, because they're your knives, and I can't wait to hear back from you and see how much you do like them. So tomorrow I will do the squid, I will do the broadside, I will do the camouflage buck bantam. So I'll do those for the other three tomorrow. And guys, ultimately, it's been a pleasure. Thank you to every single one of you all. I don't take this for granted. This is just a guy that's killing time talking into a phone. I appreciate it. Thank you for your time. Thank you for all the support and kind words. I look forward to more videos and growing with each and every one of you, and I love being part of this community. Until tomorrow, until the next video, remember, a sharp knife equals a happy life. I'm Chris, Young Professional Dad, and I will see you guys next time.